they couldn't see the...
No, one's in Belgium, one's in Australia. This group of rats are so distinct, so far away from each other. And so the theory around this, that a lot of these noetic scientists say, is that it's based on a kind of collective consciousness, that the rats kind of learn this, and it's sort of, in a sense, uploaded to this like collective species consciousness.
Okay, so if we extrapolate that to human...
The idea of memory having space.
Yeah, for sure. And also to human society. Because, we always say that, there are some myths that are prevalent all around the world that but somehow they shouldn't have travelled to different parts of the world.
Yeah, they didn't,
Or like a collective way of doing things that we seem to do all over the world.
Well, okay, so I think there's maybe two ideas at play. One could be that that the natural world and the symbols of the things around us have a natural sort of resonance, like a natural kind of meaning or archetypal resonance, right? Which all cultures pick up on.
Yeah.
Right? So that could be like, whatever the symbolism of the sun is or the symbolism of a snake, and so they come up with the same thing based on. The other way to see it is like what you're saying, is that one culture develops a system or a language for, communicating, explaining things through myth.
Yeah.
And then that is kind of, in a sense, uploaded to this collective consciousness, and it's downloaded by somebody.
By another culture.
Yeah, another culture 1,000 years later.
Yeah.
But, I don't know.
I don't know how either way.
Probably the other thing is that it's just all nonsense and this is just chance.
Well, I mean, probably the nonsense thing. The nonsense thing is probably what we probably most describe to you. But I think the former, the first theory, is probably what most people would accept, like the natural resonance of stuff, rather than the idea of this collective consciousness that gets uploaded and then downloaded.
Yeah.
But I do like the idea of space having memory.
Yeah, definitely. The thing is,
but also, if we could access it, imagine how many conversations have been had in this room. Imagine, like the memories that space would hold would be unfathomable.
Well, I definitely feel things like, so when I was in India, I used to go to this specific cave to meditate in, which the Baba of the village used to meditate. He lived like 50 years there.
But he just used to meditate.
Just eating boiled vegetables that somebody
would bring him.
And it was this like, the village was kind of named after this Baba. And I would just go there. And it was special. Like it was this special energy. And it was just damp and smelly. But it had this incredible, I don't know.
Yeah, but then actually, but that does happen, don't we? Like we go to spaces that maybe we feel like we've been there before.
Religion, like everything. Different places do have
different memories
and different energies. And I don't know. I feel like I'm really sensitive to this. I can just walk into a room and be depressed.
But can you walk into a room and be happy?
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Hugely so.
Yeah. So I do like the idea of, okay, so if we do ascribe to the belief that people have energy and that spaces have energy, then maybe it's not too much of a jump to say that space has memory. Yeah,
I think so. I think that's I think they're very similar things, this idea of memory. How articulate memory is maybe the question.
Yeah, or if it can,
does the memory...
And does the space choose the memories that it keeps? Or is it just particularly energetic moments?
No, I don't think you choose. That's interesting. Because we feel like we're somewhat more receptive to certain things than others. So does memory... Okay, maybe that is really interesting. That does space have the autonomy that we perceive we have?
Yeah.
Right? On what it receives and what it doesn't receive.
Exactly.
And maybe conversely, that when we think we have autonomy on what we're receiving.
But really we don't.
But maybe space has autonomy on what it is giving. The energy that it's...
So we're all governed by this space.
Yeah, well, okay, but that... Sure. I just think everything is space, man.
Everything is space.
We're just governed by space, right? Everything exists. Matter isn't like minuscule amount. It's like 0.1% whatever of everything, right? And most matter is made of space anyway. This is a very interesting theory. It's actually the first time I've heard of it, but it does resonate quite well.
with my belief system, whatever that belief system is. But
I mean, my theory of boundaries.
what do people think about this when you tell people about this?
Of what
of morphic resonance?
Yeah, they're quite. And normally, if you go to like a morphic resonance kind of conference, they're quite.
Oh yeah, they're really receptive to it. Yeah. There's telepathy going on everywhere at those conferences.
Yeah.
Well, what you're really telling me is that I need to go to Belgium, and then something will happen in Australia.
Adopt a rat.
Adopt a rat, and then something will happen in Australia. That was the worst description of a scientific experiment of all time. It's just something happened in Belgium, and then something happened 6 months later in Australia. Like, what are you?
Yeah, but the same thing happened.
Yeah, but without any you're not telling me what the thing is.
Yeah, but what's life without mystery?
Yeah, especially in science. What's science without mystery?
Yeah,
right?
what's a podcast without guesswork?
Yeah. No, telepathy.
Exactly.
There's telepathy.
But we shouldn't be dumbing down things to our listeners. We should,
Be making them more mysterious.
But we should accept that they're probably telepathic, and they don't need to be. We don't need to explain everything to them.
So that's interesting. So you know how when you get to know someone, you got that. We were saying that you can maybe create telepathy. Do you think our listeners know us so well that maybe they feel a bit of a telepathic connection with us?
I mean, that would be amazing to I think it's quite. I mean, if any of you actually feel that would be like.
Yeah,
let
but
us
also
know,
it'd be very one way. Because
we don't really know that. But maybe we do. Like, there's 1 or 2 listeners who, a couple of people who message us.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I don't know. There's some.
Yeah, there's definitely a bond there. Right?
Yeah, there's some bond or some energy that that they transmit. And I think that maybe we have some really loving
listeners,
and they just, I don't know. But maybe we're creating more holograms. I just like
that's
how
true.
kind people seem to be.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still time for us to say something ridiculously controversial.
I mean, like the mind being in the knee.
Mind being in the knee. But now, what happens if people who have had knee injuries and then they get really?
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. But also, what's really sad is that I thought we'd conquered our hologram issue, and it turns out we're still making holograms, but they're just of our listeners. Right? Before we were making holograms of potential romantic partners, but now it's actually just our listeners.
Yeah. Yeah, but also what I was thinking, what's kind of needs to maybe be put under the microscope a little bit is this. So when a theory kind of fits with a worldview, or kind of makes us, it's just nice. Like all these things that I said about space, I really like to believe them.
Yeah.
Right. So in a way, we can create holograms of scientific theories.
Yeah. But that's what we've just done, right?
Yeah, and I think that
we've tried to make it fit with our personal view. Yeah.
And so I don't think that's necessarily based on how true it is. That's on how much we want to believe it, right?
Yeah.
So I think we can kind of... But I think actually me and you are pretty good at being aware of that and criticizing that, and not just following a theory based on the fact that it fits like some sort of spiritual worldview or something.
But we haven't
Even
really...
though we still like...
Yeah,
we haven't ascribed to anything we said in this podcast.
Yeah, but we haven't critiqued it really, though. We haven't.
No, but that's because everybody critiques it. Like it's not,
it's been critiqued enough. Right.
But it's these sort of things are, but they're not critiqued with any. I don't think with any real. It's more just like, it's just nonsense. It's telepathy. It's never really like exploring the actual theory or the science behind it. It's just saying it's hokum.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't represent, and the truth is, none of this is provable
No.
enough, right?
But it fits in with we believe in telepathy. So I'm happy to listen to theories that give me reasons to further my belief in telepathy.
Yeah, for sure. Should I read the poems from Venice?
Yeah. The Italian one.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on. Do you have it to hand?
Yeah, I think I've got it here. Well, so basically,
is it the one poem that you always read, the Venice poem?
Yeah.
The way the devil are playing chess.
No, that's this different poem.
Okay.
No. So there's one that I kind of before I met this girl or after I met.
What's the poem that scared her?
Oh, you want that?
Well, whichever one. Actually, I'm happy for you.
Well, there's 3 poems from Venice, and this is what gave birth to a new way of So that's also what happened. We met at Home House. And this poetry. I mean, you told me to come to Home House and this whole style of poetry just came from this one trip from Venice.
No
and that's
way.
how I performed.
That's how you performed it?
Yeah, and before that moment, I never performed poetry ever.
Oh,
I
so
was
maybe
always just
that is
writing it.
like...
Yeah.
There's a lot of coincidences in that moment that led to you meeting me, and then me inviting you to
Yeah,
Home
yeah,
House,
actually,
and then us having
true.
that moment with the chips.
Yeah.
There's a lot of coincidence there.
Yeah, it's true. Actually, I wouldn't. Yeah, no, because I wouldn't have read these at the philosophy salon that we met at.
Yeah.
Then I wouldn't have come to Home House that you
No,
took me to.
exactly.
We would have just,
And the whole reason we met at philosophy salon was by accident. It was just, yeah.
Yeah. But then you said, come read at
Yeah.
Home House, yeah. Anyway.
Okay, yeah, let's go.
So this is before, I think this was just after I met her.
Yeah.
And then the other one, maybe I can read, which is...
I'm in love with you.
No, when
I'm
I'm
in love with you. I'm
alone,
in Italy.
No, when I'm alone, just wandering the streets of Italy and having, like, the best time.
Okay, yeah, let's go with the one where after you met her and you're professing your love, I assume.
Okay. No. As I delve into the metachemistry of life, I'm in relation with someone. She is a girl, but she does not exist, and I exist only in her presence. I'm not the man I was, nor the man I should be, but I am the man I am becoming, and thus who I must be, like a ghost looking for a body which is merely another ghost. But we are dancing the macabre, masked with the atmosphere of self-existence, and somewhere in the emptiness of each other there is love, but it eludes us both, and it belongs to us both. What is the point of owning something you cannot find? Capitalism still has its place in the metaphysics. A man that promises the sumptuous emptiness of life, but lo and behold, it is truly empty. Not gloriously empty, but commercially empty. It seems commerce is driven by soul, freedom, love, the James Brown of the funky, and drawn to the ethereal through the threads of the trivial. A spirit world that mimics the hallucinations and clarity of the material, as reflections of the existent and non-existent alike. This world is made of promises, promises made of subjectivity, subjectivity made of objectivity, objectivity made of subjectivity, and subjectivity made of nothing, nothing a place in which the past sits. But like all, we are eluded by the present, and is the only thing that is or may be. And whilst he, or maybe I, or maybe we, are both black and Chinese, the ghost of each other has no colour. But yet we trade in pigments from across the globe, trying deeply to assert our own existence, because somewhere inside is a question. Do we? Do we really? Do we live as holograms aching to know the static? For we are all Germans singing endless encores of Nazi jazz. Don't forget, Hitler is our cousin, and we are but pragmatic ghosts feigning the romance of art, dualizing the fleeting with the empty nobility of self-expression. Because we are, and always have been, subjects subjectively subjecting. And what a beautiful object this life is, filled with emptiness and the propaganda of a crystal spirit. Someone who wasn't once said.
That's amazing. Also, it's quite verbose for someone who doesn't speak English. Like sending that to her.
Oh, no, but I never gave that to her.
You never gave that to her?
No,
okay. I thought you'd given that to her.
It was also not about her.
I mean, it's definitely about her. Come on, you're like in love with her already. It's all about the hologram.
No, but it was just that notion of just.
I really like the
holograms,
capitalism still has space in metaphysics. It's good.
Oh yeah, and that's what we talked about with the McDonald's, man. This is karma just eats apple pie.
What's the point of owning stuff you can't find? Yeah, okay, that's a really good poem. That's incredible.
Okay, so maybe the other one we can do in the next episode.
Yeah, perfect. That was
that's enough.
Also, I mean, you were definitely in love with her. Like there was so many holograms.
No,
You've created so many holograms, and you only exist in her presence. But it only existed in her presence.
But that was, I don't know. It wasn't love.
It wasn't love.
No, it was never love. It was just
definitely lust.
It was just obsession with images, but it wasn't even like
was
the
like
image of
reality,
her when
right?
I'm with her. Like it wasn't really.
Yeah. So
This is not how I am anymore. Like I've matured a lot.
You've matured a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also, do you remember when I was like this? Like, what the person even looked like didn't even register in my mind. It was all about the energy and the spirit and chasing this.
Yeah, I don't remember what she looked like.
Yeah, just chasing the poetry.
Yeah. But I still like doing that. And I missed the kind of way in which everything is just luminous.
I know where this story is going. Next week, I'm going to call you and you're going to be like, I'm in Italy. I saw a sign. I had to go to Italy.
No, but Belgium.
Switzerland. Yeah, Belgium. Belgium. I've got a rat. I'm in Belgium.
Well, no. I'll be like, I've gone to Belgium. You'll be like, oh my god, I'm in Australia. What's the correlation?
Oh yeah, what's it? It's Noetics. What is it? Noetics. Noetics. Hey, that's ridiculous.
I think the person Dan Brown, his
ethics.
book of symbology and stuff.
Oh, the lost symbol.
The lost symbol. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I think that's what brought Noetics to the forefront.
We're promoting a lot of other people in this podcast.
Yeah.
Promoting a lot of other books that people should not be reading. They should just be listening to our podcast.
Yeah.
Over and over.
That's true. Just listen.